この怪物を止めろ、ジョーカー。
Holy crap, that was really good. I mean, you all saw that, right? A Batman samurai movie? I mean, that just makes all the sense in the world. Everything about this looks so great. The art direction, the animation, the poses. Ugh. Oh man, I am riding high on this wave. I gotta see if there are any samurai themed Batman books on Amazon. Huh. I guess not. Last week, Warner Bros. Released the trailer for Batman Ninja, the upcoming direct-to-video film starring everybody's favorite rodent-themed vigilante. But this isn't a typical Batman animated movie. This is a full-on anime. Yes, I'm finally talking about anime today. May not be the one you were expecting, but let's be honest, Batman comes first. The film takes place in feudal Japan and features samurai versions of pretty much everybody in the Batman cast. Kinda makes you wonder why it's called Batman Ninja and not Batman Samurai. I mean, they do know the difference between the two, right? It features ancient Japanese versions of classic characters like the Joker, Catwoman, Deathstroke, Gorilla Grodd, even the sidekicks, and Alfred. Can't forget about him. And this isn't gonna be some half-assed Americanized version of anime. They actually went out and got top talent from Japan. The character designer from Afro Samurai, the writer from Kamen Rider Forzu, the director of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This is the real deal, people. Just from the trailer they put out, you can tell this is going to be one of the most unique cartoons available next year. The animation style alone looks nothing like anything that you've seen before. That is, unless of course you watch a lot of anime and you have seen one that looks like this before, but I haven't, so it's new to me. The trailer is exciting enough to make you actually want to go out and hunt down some samurai-themed Batman comics. And given the prevalence of DC's Elseworld line, especially back in the 90s, you would think that they would have put out at least one samurai-themed Batman comic. But that isn't the case. Batman has more Elseworlds titles than anybody else in the DC universe, but he's surprisingly lacking in samurai and Japanese-themed stories. There are stories that take place in the Old West, the Victorian era, the Dark Ages, the 30s, but none in feudal Japan. In fact, while researching for this video, I only found 2 Elseworlds titles that took place during that time period. One is JLA Shogun of Steel, but that was really more of a Superman-focused Elseworlds story that just happened to feature some members of the Justice League, and none of them are Batman. It features Batgirl, kind of, sort of, not really. And then there's Robin Annual number 3. Now this is an official Elseworlds branded annual story, and it does feature a samurai Batman, but the story is not about him. The story is actually about Robin's journey to avenge his master. Batman dies in like the first few pages. It's strange, right? You'd think that a character as prolific and really malleable as Batman would go great with some Japanese influence. While there may not exist a straight up samurai-themed Batman story or a ninja-themed Batman story, there do exist several Batman comics with a heavy Japanese influence. Hell, there are Batman manga stories out there. The most famous of which is probably Batman Manga by Jiro Katawa. This series was originally published in the 60s at the height of the Adam West show's popularity. The art style is actually kind of reminiscent of the work of Osamu Tezuka, the creator of Astro Boy, and Katawa is able to blend that with a Batman and Robin that actually look like Adam West and Burt Ward. The stories feature everything from science fiction to magic and even blend in elements of kaiju and tokusatsu movies. It feels like it could have been a Super Sentai competitor if it was ever adapted into live action, or if this was made into an anime, a contemporary of Gigantor and Astro Boy. The series, which was initially just called Batman, was originally a Japanese-only series. It didn't come to the United States until much later. And by much later, I mean 2014, where it was redubbed Batman Manga after the Chip Kid book of the same name. That book, by the way, is all about Batman's popularity in Japan, especially during the 60s. If you can find it, definitely give it a look. So while Bat Manga was originally a product of the 60s, it wouldn't be until the year 2000 when we would get another high-profile Japanese-made Batman story. Child of Dreams by Kiya Azamiya is the story of Batman's travels to Tokyo as he tries to find the origin of a drug that makes people shapeshift into whoever they want. This is definitely a much more modern manga. The artwork is very sharp. Even the panel boxes have like a pointiness to them. It also has a very rad Batmobile. I would say if you're used to books with an art style similar to Naruto or One Piece or any of the crap Tokyo Pop put out in the early 2000s, this might be the book for you. I should note that this book was published in Japan first, and as such it was originally printed as reading from right to left. When DC officially published it in the United States in 2003, they flipped the images, making it read from left to right, the American way of doing it. For the most part, it's fine, but there are some scenes with Two-Face in it, and his scarred side is on the wrong side. It's not too distracting unless you're like me, who gets really pissed off when Two-Face isn't scarred properly. Next, I want to talk about Batman Death Mask by Yoshinori Natsume. This came out in 2008 and was actually published under CMX, DC's short-lived manga line. This story is about Batman hunting down a serial killer who he recognizes from his time training in Japan. The story mixes a lot of Japanese mythology into its plot, including the legend of the Oni and the importance of masks. It's okay. The artwork isn't as strong as Child of Dreams, and the story, while not bad, just isn't as strong or as memorable as its predecessors were. Still, I must say, it's a very unique take on the character, one that hasn't really been seen since the book originally came out. And the manga art style really does help set it apart from all the other weird Batman one-shots that have been put out over the years. So if you are looking for a Batman story with a unique Japanese twist to get you excited for Ninja, these are the 3 books I would recommend. I should say though that Child of Dreams has been out of print for a long time and might be hard to find, but both Bat Manga and Death Mask are on Comixology. And I do have Amazon links to all 3 of them in the description below, so if you'd rather get a physical version, head down there. Also, I should probably bring up Batman Gotham Knight, the 2008 anthology movie that Warner Bros. Put out in conjunction with The Dark Knight. It's an anthology movie where they got a whole bunch of different Japanese animation houses to make different Batman stories. For the most part, it's pretty good, but aside from like 1 or 2 stories, the anime art style doesn't really add anything to the movies. This could have been done like any old American cartoon and nothing would have been taken away. It probably would have been better in some cases, especially the one story where Bruce Wayne just looks like Bob without his beard on. Anyway, what did you guys and gals think about Batman Ninja? Did you enjoy the trailer? Are you excited for it? Do you think the anime and manga style fits Batman? Are there any stories that I neglected to mention before? Let me know down below or anywhere on the internet. This is not a manga-influenced Batman story or an anime-influenced Batman story. It's just the only comic I can find where Batman is fighting ninjas on the cover. Batman Ninja. If you're new here, first of all, hello. Second of all, we are the Wulff Den. We do videos about a lot of nerd stuff. Tuesday, my brother talks about video games. Wednesday, I talk about comic books, and you can catch them all first on twitch.tv/WulffDen. They go live at 10 over there, and we will be in the chat talking to you guys about it, but don't fret. They will go up again on YouTube shortly after. We also have a show on Saturdays called The Backlog, where we go through our video game collection and talk about a random game from it. Those also debut on Twitch at 10 a.m. on Saturdays, but like always, they will go up on YouTube shortly after. And of course, there's Wulff Den Live, the live podcast where we talk about all of the nerdy news of the week that's fit to print, and that show debuts on youtube.com/WulffDen every Wednesday night at 9. We of course put the archive version up the next day for all of you, and an audio version of it on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play if you'd rather listen to us instead of look at us. And I don't blame you. I don't like looking at us either. So subscribe to see all of that. Click the bell icon so you get notifications for whenever our stuff goes live. Like this video and share it with a friend who likes anime and Batman at the same time. Thank you all for watching. Watashi wa jikai ni animashou. It's not bad, right?